Welcome to the Dog Pound. Not just any dog pound, it's the Egyptian Dog Pound of the Salukis of Southern Illinois, currently ranked 20th in the country in one poll. Tonight they'll try to be upset by the Bradley Braves and coach Jim Les. He took the Braves to the Sweet 16 last year. It's the nation's best non-BCS basketball conference. It's the Valley. America's Renaissance Conference continues its 100-year anniversary celebration as the nation's best non-BCS basketball conference. Center stage tonight, State Farm proudly presents the Southern Illinois Salukis, ranked 20th in one poll, 21st in the other, as they entertain the Bradley Braves, last year a team that went to the Sweet 16 from SIU Arena here in Carbondale. And good evening, everybody. I'm Mitch Holtis, the voice of the Valley, along with Coach Charlie Spoonhour. Now for Southern Illinois, they're ranked, they're at home, and they're angry.
Well, they've already lost once to this Bradley team, and they don't like losing to anyone. They don't lose much here, Mitch. I tell you, this the reason, they have a good basketball team, they're well coached, they defend, and this crowd gets behind them. It's tough.
They haven't had much bad news this year, but one of the bad news was the fact they lost at Bradley. And there's worse news. Jeremy Crouch didn't play in that game for the Braves.
And Crouch was off to such a great start. Freshman year, he shot it well. Sophomore year, a slump. This year, he came out and was shooting 16 points a ball game, shooting 50% from three. And now he's bounced back. He missed a month, but there's his numbers, and I tell you, he's ready to go. At
one point, was leading the country in three-point shooting. In the middle for Southern Illinois, Randal, Falker.
Can't guard him, Mitch, one-on-one, I don't think. He just does too many things. He's too strong. He's a good defender. He runs the floor. He does everything. He's a very complete basketball player, very, very improved each year.
And he's our Gatorade Player of the Week in the Valley this week, averaging 16 points and 11 boards in wins over Indiana State and at Wichita State. 11 of 21 from the field, and he's got 5 double-doubles. This season is 5th against the Sycamores of Indiana State. Gatorade presents our Player of the Week in the Valley. Gatorade, is it in you? Falker gets some help for the backcourt. Jamaal Tatum, a senior from Jeff City, Missouri, has only lost one home game in his career here in Little Egypt. The State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Bud Light, refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. By Aeropostale, providing scholarship through sponsorship. By Pepsi-Cola, the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. And by Purina Dog Chow. Long live your dog. Welcome back to the Egyptian Dog Pound at Southern Illinois. Bradley against 20th ranked Southern Illinois, 76-3 here since 01-02 for the Salukis. Head coach for the visiting Braves, one of the Valley greats as a player. In his 5th year as the head coach of Bradley, and took the Braves as alma mater to the Sweet 16. Last year as a coach, as a player, he was the nation's top player under 6 feet tall when he led the Braves to a 32-3 record. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, a presentation of Bud Light. Refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. Rough and struggle the last time we had him a week ago at home against Creighton, but he can get it cranked up. The game winner was hit by Will Franklin the last time these two teams met back in January. Twice improved. Sally and Andrews need big nights for the Braves. The Salukis, they work so well together. These 5 guys are an absolute machine, both offensively and defensively. And their head coach is Chris Lowry, the only person in the 100-year history of the Valley to win the Valley tournament as both a player and a coach. He's been the youngest coach in the NCAA tournament the past 2 years. Let's check in now with Charlie Spoonhour's keys to the game, a presentation of National City.
Well, keys are going to be obviously poise versus Saluki pressure. You cannot afford to turn the basketball over, and you've got to get good shots, not forced shots. Inside presence is necessary because you're going to have to balance off Falker. For SIU, limit your turnovers, 20 last time in the loss at Bradley, and defend the threes against the number 4 shooting 3 team, averaging over 10 a game. Got to get after them.
Points from National City, the best banking rewards program around, where you earn rewards points for doing the things you already do every day. Visit your local National City branch today for details. Now let's check in with a series history brought to you by Sirius Satellite Radio. The best radio on radio. Visit Sirius.com. Two longtime rivals. Bradley's not won here since 2001, and overall the Salukis have won 10 of the last 13 in this series. 5 straight here at SIU Arena for Southern Illinois. But when you look at what Southern Illinois has done here at home, Charlie, it just blows your mind. 76-3 against everybody, 50-1 against the Valley.
That's just silly. I mean, when you get right down to it, you can't expect to do that. As you expect from the Salukis, here's man defensive pressure, and it's going to be there all night.
First possession of the game, the Bradley Braves. Game on. In America's best non-BCS basketball conference, the Valley, Will Franklin works the baseline. And Randal Falker with the first of what we expect to be many rebounds tonight.
Pretty good shot selection, pretty good ball handling by Bradley that time.
Bryan Mullins runs the point for the Salukis. 21 assists, 5 turnovers in the last 5 games.
Bradley returns a favor with man defensive pressure right here.
Sally jumps in the lane, knocks it out of bounds. There's 6 to shoot for the Salukis.
And our first officiating assist by Jim Less in less than a minute.
SIU is 6 to shoot. Got a problem here. Tatum looks up at the clock, forces one. Shot clock violation. So Bradley does a Southern Illinois impersonation when they're on defense.
Well, I think when you practice all week against what you think a team's going to do against you, you start to reflect them a little bit.
There's a look at Bryan Mullins. I call them the Egyptian Dawgs. They're really Dobermans when they guard, although this time it's an easy basket for Matt Salad. Young, the ability to penetrate. Shot missing from Tatum. And Bradley already off to a much better start than we saw a week ago at home when they played Creighton. One thing, Bradley does have the perimeter quickness to match up a little bit with Southern Illinois. We see some teams where they kind of just have a mismatch and can't deal with Tatum, Young, and Mullins.
Well, they've got 3 guards on the floor all the time, and that is one thing that at least gives you a chance to handle the basketball.
Southern, as good as they are defensively, last in the Valley in offense per game at 63 points per game, but a lot of that dictated by the way they play on both ends of the floor. Tatum gets set up again by Mullins. This counts for the extra point.
All that started when the double team came on Falker, because as we said earlier, it's pretty hard to play him one-on-one, so we'll have to watch that.
Tatum, 10 of his last 26 from 3. He shot just 29% a year ago from bonus distance. They run 2 at Ruffin. 10 to shoot for Bradley. Sally double clutches over Falker.
Excuse me, Mitch. Jim Less has got to like these possessions, though, better than the last ball game. At least he's getting good looks at the basket.
And he's getting back on defense better than he did against Creighton. Young with a pull-up, splashes it home. The 2 guards in the game at Bradley, Charlie. Tatum was 2 for 10. Young was just 2 for 7.
Offense is pushed way, way out.
Franklin, nice take. Hit it over Young.
You're seeing a lot of dribble penetration and then making passes out of that, getting the Salukis to help, and then trying to find an open man.
Franklin at 18 against the Salukis in Peoria, including the game winner. 5-4 Egyptian Dawgs just underway here in Little Egypt. Shaw, strong, works it off Bradley. A reminder, this game, closed caption, made possible by Emerson. To learn more, visit go to emerson.com. Emerson, consider it solved.
We talked about this last game, Mitch. In a game where defense rules, if you can find a way to score on out-of-bounds plays or transition, it really, really helps.
Mullins is the trigger man. Falker, deep catch, bucket, foul.
Key to that is deep catch. He caught the thing within a foot and a half of the basket. Nobody could get there to double team. That's too much.
Zach Andrews called for the foul.
Randal Falker's at the line for Southern Illinois. Falker shooting one.
Falker so strong, third in the conference in scoring, third in rebounding. He only has one Achilles heel, Charlie. There's only one weakness in his game.
And we're getting ready to see maybe part of it right here. Although he has had some ball games where he strung baskets or free throws together. Excuse me, Mitch, again, he's a 55% shooter, and there's the start of it right there.
Stoinks that one. He was 3 of 7 at Bradley in that loss in Peoria. He had a double-double, but missed 4 free tosses.
Good ball movement.
Route set up Franklin, but couldn't knock it down. Southern Illinois with possession, up 3.
Good example of giving up a good shot to get a better shot, though, that time by Bradley.
Which is a trademark of this year's Bradley team. I'm impressed, Charlie, with the way Bradley has started defensively. Awareness, quickness.
You're right. Their effort's good, and here's the first chance at a run out.
Sally chases. Twy gets the finish.
It's a hard basket to get right there. That was a basket earned by good passing.
Bradley's showing zone here now. Tatum over the top of the zone. Young, new possession, Southern Illinois.
That shot might have been a little quicker.
Falker, whether it's zone or man, goes inside again and digs low. He'll have free throws when we come back to foul on Crouch. But a good start for Bradley on the road, down just 1. Bradley, a lot of energy here, trailing just by 1 to the 20th ranked team in the country, Southern Illinois. 14:44 to play in the first 20. Reminder that at intermission we'll have our report brought to you by Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center. Charlie will talk with both coaches. We'll check back in history and others features. Reminder, Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center, where love for kids just keeps on growing. Falker right back to the line where he clanked one. Last year he was the MVP. And around it goes. He was the MVP of Arch Madness, the postseason tournament in St. Louis, when Southern Illinois beat Bradley in the finals. Dead center.
Anytime the crowd reacts like that, you know they didn't really expect it.
Southern Illinois goes to the bench. Tyrone Green in. And there's a foul on Green. Bumping Daniel Ruffin.
Well, Green is put in the ball game to defend. That's his role in life, at least this year. And he does it very well.
Junior out of Monticello, Kentucky. Didn't discover he was left-handed until junior college. Thought maybe kindergarten might figure that out.
There's the ball screen, and the first time the Salukis have been able to get a double team really set, Mitch.
Franklin in jail, gets tied up. It's a turnover because the arrow points to Southern Illinois. The State Farm Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament tips off March 1 at Scott Trade Center in downtown St. Louis. It goes through the 4th of March. Stop in at any St. Louis Taco Bell location. You can take $12 off any session ticket to the Valley Tournament by picking up a coupon at the St. Louis area Taco Bell restaurants while supplies last.
Nice idea there. Extend your zone down the floor. Make particularly the new guys that came into the game for the Salukis have to think a little.
You said Bradley kind of discovered that the zone works by mistake away.
Well, by happenstance, fouls caused it.
Defense causes a deflection here. They were a second away from a shot clock violation anyway.
There's your double team again. And they're making the play after the double team comes.
Franklin. Great look. And Bradley, outstanding passing, but no shot knocked down by Franklin.
That's about 3 times there's been a reasonably open look. Better than you usually get against SIU.
Southern swings it around the zone, and Clemmons attacks and scores. Wesley Clemmons off the bench, a sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana.
And another very good defender.
I think that's got to be in your package, or if it's not, you need to get it really quickly. Mullins last year was great at stealing. Gets wrapped up by Twy.
Gotta give Twy credit. He's trying to sell no intentional foul by acting as though he's got a jump ball out of that. That's a smart play by J.J. Twy.
Last year, Mullins had 94 steals, Charlie. This year, just 36. But he plays great defense every time out.
He does that, and I think, too, Mitch, now people look at him and say, you know, he's going to get the ball from us. It's not like a year ago when they just look out there and see this little guy kind of running around, a little pleasant fella. He's a tough kid, and he gets after the basketball.
Jim Lesh, not exactly tickled right now. He is right in the grill of his team.
Turnovers. He doesn't want, he wants to get shots. I don't think, you know, he's obviously not happy when they miss an open shot, but when they turn the thing over, that's what drives him crazy.
They are #1 in the league in assist-to-turnover ratio, and actually #1 in turnover margin.
The first half in Missouri Valley Conference play. It's Evansville 40, Creighton 34.
Southern Illinois leading here 11-6. 12:58 remaining first half. And the line will be Bryan Mullins, the point guard for the Salukis. 82% at the line. He didn't like it when it left his hand. Bradley has had 10 possessions in the game, Charlie. 2 open looks, and they've missed both of those. Sometimes SIU's defense will affect you even if you get open looks.
That's the thing. You get a look, but you still don't make the shot. It's because you've been hurried and you've harassed and it's just not there.
Southern Illinois missing both free throws, but they get it back with an offensive board. Young, he took steps. Nice recovery by Danny Adams of the Braves.
Change of defense again. Bradley's given different looks and maybe making the Salukis think a little bit.
Evansville leading Creighton at halftime 48-34. Creighton tied with Southern Illinois for the lead of the league, 10-3. Now there's a look. This is what the opponent looks when they come down the floor at these guys. I call them the Egyptian Dawgs. They're really the Dobermans, Charlie. It's like playing a bunch of Dobermans and playing them in their pen.
The idea, I think, that you get playing against Southern Illinois is if I can just get rid of this thing before they yank it away from me, I've accomplished something. But then you get moving too fast, doing things you can't do, and then you get in trouble.
Foul on the Salukis. Zach Andrews to the line. Andrews, well, he's only 55% at the line, but he's been a part of the Bradley success. A lot of people thought Bradley would fall off the cliff after Patrick O'Brien, Marcellus Somerville, and others, Lawrence Wright, left. But Andrews, his contributions have been a big part of Bradley's 16-9 season.
Defense comes down this time. There's a little double team. Something again for the Salukis to think about.
Near steal by the Braves. 11-7, Southern Illinois. Played almost 8 minutes. Eight to shoot. Clemmons, strong, no finish. And Zach Andrews rips it down for the Braves.
There's your double team again. There the chase is on.
And the foul is called. Mike Sanzier is going to call it on Tyrone Green, and that's Green's second. Jim Les continues to challenge his team to be tough. They're within 4 on the road in Carbondale. 20th ranked team in the country, Southern Illinois, leading Bradley 11-7, 11:41. We go in the first half of this game. Time now to announce our Prairie Farms Valley Scholar athlete of the game. It's Southern Illinois' Todd Reedy, a junior defender on the Bradley soccer team, a 2-time Valley Soccer Scholar Athlete selection. Second team academic All-America choice in 06. Prairie Farms family of dairies, Prairie Farms, Highland, and Roberts Dairies, serving dairy fresh food products throughout mid-America. Crouch with a miss. Southern back with the basketball.
Little man defense here right now. On your shot clock, this has happened more than once. He's now down under the 14 mark.
And Shaw's flirting with a 5 count. Rescued by Tony Boyle. Tatum around Adams, off balance. When we brag about Southern Illinois' defense, we have to give the same compliment to Bradley. They've kept it up now for a 9-minute period.
They certainly have.
Twy. An open look and a missed shot and a foul on the rebound.
Frustration when you can't get to the ball. You miss the shot, and then you can't get the ball when you rebound. You just end up shoving somebody.
Third open look. Andrews has to set down now with his second foul. Bradley is not deep in the middle. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Aeropostale. Visit us on the web at aeropostale.com for all the latest trends in casual apparel for both boys and girls, providing scholarship through sponsorship. And
you mentioned before about the zone coming as a result of fouls. Well, this is exactly the same situation.
Joshua Bone now in for Southern Illinois.
There's a zone with your big men right now are Sally and Twy. Twy came here thinking he was a point guard.
9 to shoot. In the corner, a 3 fired in by Tony Young. He had 6 threes against Western Kentucky. 17 of 39 spoon his last 8 games.
A lot of on-the-ball screens by Bradley. Ooh, that really went in.
Ball flicked out of his hand, wasn't it? Had a side spin to it. Southern Illinois leading by 7. Bradley has to be careful. As hard as they've worked, they don't want to get down big here. Boyle, a bonus tip in. Twy. Rejected by Matt Shaw. Mullins to the rack.
Timeout and a good one right there by Jim Les. The shot getting blocks one thing, but then the run out at the back end of it is what's frustrating.
7 quick Egyptian Dog points here. People say Mullins isn't that fast, but he's sneaky fast.
Well, you've mentioned it before. He's got good feet. First of all, he doesn't have a lot of crazy actions to what he's doing. He's figured out the shortest distance is a straight line. That's the first thing. And he's strong enough to get to the basket, and he makes shots. People don't think he's going to shoot it. He just takes it and makes shots.
The Egyptian Dogs are barking loudly tonight in Little Egypt with a 7-0 run. And in milliseconds, they take a 4-point Nervous lead over Bradley, quickly to double digits.
Somebody's got to hit some shots if you're Bradley. That's what you're starting to think of right now. You're 0 for 4 from 3.
And it bears repeating. Bradley, one of the top three-point shooting teams in the country. 5th in makes, or 5th in percentage. 4th in 10 threes per game usually. Good look for Ruffin. Not falling tonight.
Great ball movement, just nothing to show for it.
Mullins left alone.
And a rather silly foul right there.
Jamaal Foster called for the foul. And over the last 5 years again, only 15 schools, Charlie, have made it to the NCAA tournament 5 consecutive years. Look at this list of company that Southern's got.
Southern's got pretty good company, is exactly right. When we were talking, North Carolina State was the one that sort of surprised you.
Franklin retreats and nails it. He can shoot the 3. He's 44% from 3 for the year.
And a basket feels good if you're Bradley right now.
Nice little back dribble by Franklin to get freed up to the shot.
Going back to that list, the team probably in the greatest jeopardy right now might be UConn. They're in trouble getting into their own tournament. They did beat Syracuse the other night.
They still got a lot of work to do. Falker back in the lineup and makes his presence felt.
Beautiful entry pass in.
Ruffin. Boom. With the board. Can you make the NCAA tournament if you don't make your own conference tournament?
I think not. I think we'll draw the line there.
Falker rejected. Adams in there. They call it a tie-up, and Bradley's got the arrow. Falker leads the league in blocked shots. Gets one blocked on him. But Southern Illinois has doubled it up on Bradley, who's fighting tough tonight on the road. Southern Illinois leading Bradley 20-10 with 7:41 to go in the first half here in Carbondale. Let's take a look at the Valley standings. Charlie, brought to you by Ameren. At Ameren, they're always working hard to keep your power up, costs down. Ameren 365 and then some.
Well, we talked about earlier, but Creighton's got a little trouble at home tonight, down 14 at halftime. Of course, we have seen them before in that same situation.
Creighton and Southern Illinois, you saw at the top of the standings, 10-3. 2 games ahead of the next group, and then it really gets bunched up. There's a trap again on Franklin and a steal. Falker in the open floor runs into the basket support hard.
I hope he supports all right. Falker does a really nice job of running. Oh, look at that. You see up the floor. That's the way you get run out baskets. First, somebody picks their feet up, and secondly, somebody looks for them.
Danny Adams called for the foul, and Falker back to the line where he's 2 of 3. Start calling him Blake Ahern here pretty soon. Say you guys talk about how bad a free throw shooter I am.
We might need to hold that reference in abeyance just a little.
The only guy in the league that looks like Snoop Dogg in the classic movie Starsky and Hutch. They played Huggy Bear.
2 free throws.
8 for Falker. Good start for him. 4 boards to go along with it.
There's 2 screens that Mullins has to fight through. There came a third one.
And Ruffin misses a layup. We saw him do it against Creighton too, Charlie. He was able to break down the defense and then couldn't get the bucket to go down.
And no one there to challenge. Falker did not run him off that one. That was just a miss.
Bradley now 0 for 6 on open looks. 5 of those 6 are threes. Crouch with the tearaway for Bradley. Here's the shooting. Graves just 4 of 14. Sam Sand, a little used off injured inside player from Ozark, Missouri, with a bonus too.
We've had 2 of those, 1 for each team, so that's a push.
Bradley stays in the zone. Singh trying to give Bradley some minutes inside with Zach Andrews in foul trouble.
Both teams skipping the ball a lot tonight.
Salukis up 10. Young rants and gets the hometown Little Egypt roll.
I didn't think he was going to shoot that.
And Twy gets bumped underneath. Bradley wasted no time. A reminder, at halftime, we'll have our Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center report, where love for kids just keeps on growing. That's at Cardinal Glennon Medical Center. Children's Medical Center. Foul is called on Foster of Southern Illinois. It's his second. Bad pass by Twy. Second steal by Mullins. And he gets fouled.
Mullins in the right place at the right time then.
Non-shooting foul. Jim Less's team. You look at the score, Charlie, it's almost misleading. You think it ought to be closer than that because Bradley's really played pretty well in the first part of this game. The turnovers, I guess, would be the exception, and Clemmons gets fouled on the way to the bucket.
Turnovers and the fact that when they've had open shots, including the layup, Bradley hadn't been able to get the ball down, but they've got a great idea what they want to do. Their game structure and their game plan is very good.
Wesley Clemmons to the line. Clemmons a 58% shooter. Southern Illinois is now in the first bonus, although this was a two-shot opportunity for Clemmons. Salukis ranked for the first time since 2004 when they spent 6 weeks in the poll. Again, they're ranked 21st in the AP poll, 20th in the coaches poll.
Ooh, close to another steal right there.
15-point lead for Southern Illinois.
Look who's picked up the point guard. Falker.
And stays with him. Ruffin's looking at him like, why are you guarding me?
Leave me alone.
Crouch. Falker with the board.
And again, rebounding out of your area. Falker chasing a guard out at the head of the circle, comes back and gets the rebound.
Bradley back man. Crouch ran at Clemmons and forced the walk.
That's a strange look. You've got a point guard with a center keeping him from getting to the basket. It's not entirely fair.
It begs the question, if the center's guarding the point guard, who's guarding the center?
The point guard, you got it. But it's hard to find him when there's all this activity going on.
Falker's going to get called here for hands on Twy. First foul on Falker.
Well, this offense that Bradley's running, the way they're dribbling the basketball and the constant movement has got to wear people down that are defending.
But the Braves, fourth in the country behind VMI, Houston, and West Virginia in threes per game, has just one three-pointer in 7 attempts. Again, Bradley spins up.
Great ball movement and just an open shot that you think that Bradley's going to hit, and they don't make the shot.
Their passing has been so good tonight. Their shooting hasn't. Falker leads the double. Gets it back.
Different type play right there.
Young, Twy defending him. So Young backs up and hits a three.
Well, that's when it rains, it pours there.
Tony Young's career high is 30 against Bradley in past years, and Ruffin sneaks in to get a bucket.
Good individual play by the two guards then. Everything's difficult, though. There's just not anything that's coming easy for Bradley.
Look at this. The Salukis have held their last two opponents to 19 first-half points each. Indiana State, and the second one was in Wichita. Falker can use that left hand, but Andrews playing precariously with 2 fouls gets the job done.
Now, if you're the Braves, you could really use a basket.
Crouch offline. Shaw so very strong. Shaw has yet to score, but he's got 5 rebounds.
Saw some people holding onto their pants legs. That's usually when you're tired, when you see that.
Young's got the field. 14 for Tony Young. 4 threes. And Mullins has his hands on Franklin. First foul on Mullins. However, Jim Less's team is in the bonus when we come back. His team's also down by 19. Ranked team in the country, leading Bradley by 19 points. The Egyptian Dawgs leading 33-14. When Metro Sports takes its cameras on the road, it considers these hotel properties home away from home. Call these hotels or visit the websites of these properties when following your favorite team. Take a look at the Holiday Inn Conference Center in Carbondale. A great place to stay, brand new. The business center is burning it up today. Got a lot of work done in that place. Now, I want to ask you, here's Bradley down by 19. We've talked about their effort. They've passed the ball great, and they're getting okay looks.
Well, we just looked at it. They have had 26 possessions. They are 0 for 7 on open looks. 6 of those were threes, and this is a team that shoots threes. This is by design that they're getting these shots. Mitch, and the ball's just not going in the goal.
Franklin has 7, knocking down both free throws. Salukis on a 15-6 run of the last 5.5. Shaw has it rejected.
Oh, man.
And stolen back by Tony Boyle. Clemmons is called for 3 seconds in the lane.
It's that kind of night. You don't usually get 3 seconds in the lane unless you've got an advantage, and there was not a great deal of advantage there.
Six steals in this first half for Southern Illinois. And here's a foul on Boyle. That's a second. Zach Andrews will get 1 plus the penalty here. Southern Illinois, as you look at Boyle, 4th in the country in defending, scoring defense. Only Princeton, Air Force, and Butler give up less points per game. And ironically, it's Butler that Southern Illinois will play in that last big non-conference weekend, a week from Saturday. Andrews gets his 2nd point of the night. Andrews, 5 double-doubles this season, a huge game. 21 points, 10 boards against Wichita State. Bradley with 4 unanswered points to get back within 15. And a steal by Crouch. Misses the layup. Crouch gets it back. Andrews tips it in with an and-one opportunity. So Bradley with some hustle plays here. And Boyle's picked up his 3rd foul. Mullins, who usually picks other guys, gets picked here by Jeremy Crouch. The Braves are #1 in the Valley in steals. They'll get 9 steals per game. Andrews now with 5 points and 5 boards. And a 7-0 run here by Bradley to get back within 12 with 90 seconds remaining in the first 20. Mullins, open look at a three. Not there, shooting just 33% from bonus distance. Ruffin. Short, tough night for Ruffin. 1 for 6 from the field, but Charlie Bradley with a 7-0 run, getting rewarded finally for their effort.
Finally, a run out and some free throws, and that's what it takes to get you back in the ball game, Mitch, and some things like that.
Young, he's been the story for Southern in the first half. They're going to call Matt Shaw over the back of Jeremy Crouch. That puts Bradley in the double bonus. And if this was Crouch going to the line, you might as well just add the points right now. You see Sam Singh ready to come in.
And Mitch, again, here's a chance to put points up with the clock off, and that's exactly what Bradley's needed.
And essentially get a 2-for-1 here. The crowd here, the student body, calling Jeremy Crouch Harry Potter. But Harry Potter doesn't even shoot free throws as good as Crouch. Spoon, he's 44 of 48. And yet he's third in the league behind Blake Ahern of Missouri State and Kyle Anslinger of Evansville. And Jinkson, he missed his 5th free throw of the season. Still in a situation with 1 crack each here. 33-22 Southern Illinois. 4-second differential. Young sets up Falker in the lane. Slapped by Sam Singh. Jim Lesh not real happy with Randy McCall. Mike Sanzier trying to calm him down. Spoon, as we look at Mike Sanzier, you talked to him before the game. He had some serious heart surgery.
What was it, Mitch? 99% blockage?
99%. He was a walking time bomb. His heart could have blown out at any second. We see him work a lot of basketball, not only here in the Valley, but a respected official that works across the country.
Probably why the crowd and the coaches don't bother him much. I think he's got things in a proper perspective.
12-point lead for Southern Illinois. Bradley gets one last crack here. Southern will have the first possession of the second half. Ruffin deep three. No. Southern Illinois doing their usual damage defensively, leading at halftime here 34-22, but Bradley had a run at the end of the half that had to please Jim Less. His effort has been good tonight, his team's effort. Let's go down to Charlie Spooner.
Chris, I know the last couple of minutes didn't please you, but that was a good half of basketball for you, and you still got a 12-point lead.
All right, well, we got to stay cut in, and we got to make sure we continue to do what we need to defensively and not have the same relapse that we had in the last 3 minutes.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Our chat with Coach Lowry and the rest of the coaches around the league is brought to you by Mercy Health Plans, an innovative health management company empowering members to make healthy choices. The way we care makes all the difference. Bradley, one of the top three-point shooting teams in America, 1 of 10 from 3. They trail by double digits here in Little Egypt against the 20th ranked team in the country. Southern Illinois 10-0 at home this year, leading Bradley at halftime 34-22. As our Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital halftime report continues from here in Carbondale. Mitch Holt is back with you, along with Coach Charlie Spoonhour. Southern leading by 12, but you really have to admire what Bradley has done the first 20 minutes. They have fought and fought and kept fighting.
Had a great idea on how to get shots and to use some of Southern's strengths against them, and then just couldn't make shots, but didn't give up. That's the main thing. Coach Less's team kept playing and then used the free throws to get back in the ballgame and the steals.
And yet Southern had that little 7-0 run that took it quickly up to double digits. They can do it in a hurry here.
It can happen so quickly, and particularly when Young's shooting the ball the way he is on occasions tonight. Falker's having his usual good game. I tell you, the defense for Southern is just, that's the thing that Of course, coach is upset with them now. They're not playing it well enough, and they've given up 22 points.
And what's impressive about Southern, they play it every night. This isn't something they do every other week. You play Southern Illinois, you're going to get defended. Salukis leading here at halftime, 34-22, as our 100th year celebration of the Valley continues. Valley Centennial Moment, a presentation of O'Reilly Auto Parts with over 1,600 locations in 25 states, highlights Southern Illinois' run in the 05 NCAA tournament in Oklahoma City. A first-round win over the St. Mary's Gales put the Southern Illinois Salukis into a second-round game against the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Jamaal Tatum had 22 points. Darren Brooks added 17, but the Salukis fell in a hard-fought game to Oklahoma State. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com. Aeropostale, providing scholarship through sponsorship, presents tonight's Valley legend, Bradley's Hersey Hawkins. The Hawk was a two-time All-American and a 14-year NBA veteran. He's the Valley's all-time leading scorer with 3,008 points and a three-time All-Valley choice. He scored 63 points in the game against Detroit in 1988 and would later be named the National Player of the Year. For all the latest trends in casual apparel for both guys and girls, visit us on the web at aeropostale.com. Southern Illinois leading Bradley at halftime, 34-22. Let's go to Charlie Spoonar's visit with Bradley coach Jim Less.
Jimmy, I know it's not much consolation, but you guys have had a good idea what you wanted to do, and you've got some open looks.
We had some good shots. I was really more concerned with our defensive end. You know, we give up 34 points. That's way too many for this team. I didn't think we guarded to the last 3 minutes. So I think we'll hit those shots in the second half. We got to get better on defense.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
The coaches all year brought to you by Mercy Health Plans, an innovative health management company empowering members to make healthy choices. The way we care makes all the difference. Bradley leads the Valley in scoring at 77 points per game, but in 3 halves total now against Southern Illinois, they've scored 70 total points. Southern Illinois, up 12, has the first possession of the second half. An update from the game in Omaha. Creighton was getting pounded at halftime, 48-34 by Evansville. They've now regained the lead, 59-56. Jamaal Tatum not getting many minutes here, Coach, in the first half. In fact, Tatum only played 6 minutes. He's fighting some sickness as Young scores, and Tatum does not start the second half, but he's fighting a little bit of the crud that, quite honestly, is kind of moving around Little Egypt.
Well, as long as Young's going to play like he's played, that'll take up the slack.
Young with 16 points on helping on defense to knock it out of the arms of Zach Andrews. And Charlie, here's where Bradley's just got to keep it close and then hopefully have a shot at it late. And there's a walk by Andrews. But they just cannot get too far down here in the next 5 minutes.
Well, this first 4 minutes, we've said this over and over, Mitch, but the first 4 minutes of the second half so important. You always try to win that.
Bradley has been decent on defense. They get a steal there from Danny Adams.
Maybe why Adams has started the second half, Mitch.
What a hands-on.
Is for his defense, and just get him out there. And it's not a very big ball club at all. Again, that Bradley's got out there. I mean, it's a 6'5" and under game.
We were bragging up Bradley's defense in the first 20, and Jim Less told you he was upset with the 34 points that Southern had on the board. Twy for 3. Adams with an offensive board. Ruffins is just not hitting shots. He's 1 of 7.
I know people question shooting the ball that quickly, but after a rebound, but that is a good time to shoot a ball.
Ruffin this year against Southern, 3 for 20 in the 2 games combined. Falker, nice feed. It's Young's night. Couldn't hit that little runner on the baseline.
That's hard at that little angle.
Twy everywhere for Bradley.
Fans might have had a complaint there.
Ruffin trying to read the double. Twy not there. And again, the 3-ball not going down tonight for Bradley.
Open look there. There's been 2 open looks already this half. It's just the ball hasn't gone down.
1 for 14 from 3 are the Braves. 14-point lead for the Egyptian Dogs. Clemmons loads up. Somebody covered the goals at halftime. Franklin zips around Young to score.
Franklin got around him twice.
Bradley lurking within 12. 3 minutes gone in the second 20.
Jim Les has got to be happy with this defense because this is 2 points in the first 3.5 minutes or so.
Falker getting a lot of company. The tip out goes to Bradley.
Right now, Bradley's going to force somebody to shoot the ball in from outside, probably other than Young, but they're going to double down on Falker and make somebody else have to hit shots.
You were mentioning Jim Lass with a really solid plan here.
Oh, I don't think there's any question. He's got a really good idea of what he wants to do against this defense, and it is a good defense.
Ruffin pulls up. Shaw bodies down, and Clemmons has it for Southern Illinois. Now can the Salukis score? Salukis 0 for 3 in the last 3 possessions and a turnover. Actually, last 4. Falker underneath. Adams reaches in. Nope, stepped out.
Randy McCall caught him.
They're making it tough on Falker. Falker with 9 points and 10 rebounds.
He got it and got the ball up in the air quickly then, but there's going to be people around him.
Young sitting down right now. Tatum is 6, and somebody's going to have to miss or hit some shots here. Back off Mullins, and there's a foul underneath. It's going to be on Sally. It's his first foul.
First team foul on Bradley in the second half of play.
Falker, one of the best in the league, Charlie. He's so good at posting and then reposting. There's a tip in for Shaw. You like Shaw, don't you?
I do a lot, and that's a situation where you can't score conventionally. You have to get it some other way, and that time off the rebound.
Shaw can light it up. He had 26 against Minnesota earlier this year. Falker has picked up his second foul. Early second half, Bradley still fighting, but trailing by 14. Southern Illinois leading 38-24 over Bradley. Still 15:51 to go. Time now for this date in history. Brought to you by the Sheraton St. Louis City Center Hotel. 2004, the 2-time Valley Player of the Year, Darren Brooks, a team-high 16. Salukis won 10 straight games, along with string in 37 years of a 61-60 over Creighton. When traveling to St. Louis, visit Sheraton.com St. Louis to make your reservation at the Sheraton City Center Hotel, the official St. Louis Hotel of the Valley. Little known fact, Southern Illinois has won 145 games since 2001-2002. That is tied with Kansas in that time span. Kansas knows all about Bradley. Bradley eliminated them last year from the tournament. And a bonus 3 from young Andrew Warren, the freshman from Indianapolis.
Well, that's not an accident when he makes one of those. He's about a 50% shooter from out there.
It's right there, 17 of 33. Had 3 big threes at break in a Bradley road win.
Here comes the double team, almost a triple team on Falker.
Clemmons scores, and he got hit on the shot. So Jamaal Tatum out with sickness. You're thinking maybe Tony Young's not feeling so great.
I just wondered, particularly after you mentioned that, because he was sort of slow getting up the floor. Here's Falker doing a nice job of being strong and finding an open man in a tough shot.
Clemmons now with 7 points off the bench for the Salukis. He had 12 earlier this year against Western Kentucky.
High ball screens again. 2 of them.
14-point lead for Southern Illinois.
4 high ball screens so far in this possession.
Franklin sets up Adams. That's not there. And Shaw's got the board for Southern Illinois.
Good possession for Bradley, just failure to finish the play by hitting the shot.
It's been the story all night. 9 of 32 from the field, but a steal by Warren. Jim Les wants a goaltend. Mike Sanzier's not going to give it to him. But now Andrew Warren here, give a little something to the Braves off the bench.
So you need someone to come and make some plays and do something that's a little bit unexpected when you're going to win a road game.
Warren, a good free throw shooter, 79%. Crouch back in for Bradley. Bradley picked preseason like 8th or something.
Picked 8th.
Sitting here at 7-6 in the league. They've been better on the road, Charlie. They're 3-4 in the league on the road. If they could win a 4th road game, it would be the best in 9 seasons for them on the road in the league.
And this is a ball club that doesn't get close to catching people in rebounds. They've got to force turnovers, and they've got to hit threes. And tonight they haven't hit threes, but they're still in the game.
They're last in the league, in fact, in rebound margin. On average, getting outboarded by 7. In fact, the Salukis, the only time they've out-rebounded an opponent and lost was the game at Bradley earlier this year. Bone long on the 3. It's going to be interesting. It's going to Bradley.
Good hustle play by both teams. Green just couldn't get there and make the play.
Big crowd on hand here tonight in Little Egypt. 41-29 Southern Illinois. Still 13:39 to go. Bradley is 0 for 11 on open looks. 9 of them threes. Falker out on Crouch. And a violation, a lane violation, our 2nd of the night. This is on Zach Andrews.
For teams that don't have huge postmen, 3 in the lane is a kind of an unusual call.
Had 2 tonight. Of course, the other one was the Clemmons pivot deal. Bone. Knick-knack, paddywhack. Give an Egyptian dog a bone. Joshua Bone for 2.
Freshman stepping up and playing in a big game.
It's February. Andrews.
You really need to finish that.
Bone had the feel. Falker with the follow. His first second half points. He's got another double-double, Charlie. And for Falker, it is his 11th career double-double.
I don't know how in the world he got to the ball, let alone got the ball, landed, and then finished. That was a really, really good play.
We're going to step aside. Southern Illinois playing like a top 20 team. Mitch Holtis back with Charlie Spoonhour here in Carbondale. Southern Illinois leading Bradley 45-29. 12:36 to go. The women's tournament this year is in the 2nd weekend of March in Des Moines. We call it Hoops in the Heartland. I'm headed to Des Moines Friday night. Drake will play Creighton on our Game of the Week. A reminder, check in with the Des Moines Convention and Visitors Bureau. Call the number you see on the screen, the toll-free number, or go to DesMoines.com and check it out, as the Des Moines folks and the Drake Bulldogs will be host to this year's Hoops in the Heartland Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. Zach Andrews able to slither inside for a couple.
By design, off the pick and roll.
Fourteen-point lead.
Freshman. Pretty.
No basketball on the floor.
Chris Lowry really likes Joshua Bone and his potential. Bone is a freshman out of Nashville, Tennessee. He came into this game 1 turnover in 111 minutes.
He's playing as relaxed as you can play.
Coach Lowry says nothing's too big for him. He's very, very intelligent. Good basketball IQ. Shaw losing the ball. No foul, but Southern Illinois will keep it.
Very smart play by Shaw. Shaw's had trouble out on the floor with the smaller defenders. That time he took Twy inside. Maybe could have drawn a foul.
Team's up 14, however. Why did that start at 6? Mitch Holter's back along with Charlie Spooner. 45-31. The 20th ranked Salukis up by 14. 11:56 left to go in the game. With over 5,000 hotels to choose from, there's bound to be a choice hotel wherever you're headed. Book your stay by calling 877-240-2929 or visit choicesportstravel.com. Get your best internet rate guarantee. We'll see you there. Get these minus temperatures we've had around the valley footprint and start calling that number real fast. We'll show you an update from the game in Omaha. Creighton and Southern Illinois came into this night tied for the Valley lead at 10 wins and 3 losses. Creighton was down by 14.5 in Omaha to Evansville. If Young is sick, everybody should be this sick. 18 points on 7-11 shooting. Boyle. Franklin's going to get an easy one. Unless Bone's got other ideas. 11 for Will Franklin.
Very, very unusual to see a giveaway basket, and there was one right there.
Chris Lowry wants timeout. He's upset. His team's up 14. And he's fixing to go 51-1 at home against Valley teams since 02. Tonight's game brought to you by Aeropostale. Visit us on the web at aeropostale.com for all the latest trends in casual apparel for both boys and girls. Aeropostale, providing scholarship through sponsorship.
That was the 12th turnover for Southern, and it led to a basket, and that's what made the coach so upset.
I asked Chris last night, what makes you guys so good defensively? His answer, there is a high degree of accountability with everybody on this team in regards to defense.
Well, you just saw there's a timeout taken there, like somebody had, done something heinous. I mean, that's the 33rd point of the night. And Chris is acting like, we may have to have somebody put to sleep over this. I mean, he was not happy.
It's going to make him walk the green mile. All right, we have a final here. Creighton was down 48-34 at half. It was in Omaha. You can imagine what the Quest Center was like in the second half as Creighton goes to 11-3 in the league, Spoon, with a 5-point win over the Purple Aces.
Well, they needed, obviously, did Creighton, that win, because they've got to play. Oh, my.
Playing above the rim for a little while. Their next game, Charlie?
I believe will be right here.
On Saturday. It's going to be a foul on Falker, and Chris Lowry is not happy. All right, here's your updated updated standings in the Valley. A presentation of Ameren. There's Creighton with their half-game lead, but Southern Illinois 10.5 minutes from joining them. Bradley, if they would lose, would go to 7-7, but Bradley's still hanging in there. If Bradley could finish strong, they play at Virginia Commonwealth on that big non-conference weekend. If they could pop VCU, which is very good, by the way, only 2 league losses, or 2 losses total. Bradley could finish strong and have a bid for postseason play in the NCAA tournament.
But they won't play anywhere they go against a better or harder defense than the one they've looked at tonight. Nothing is easy.
Andrews is going to get free throws here. There's a foul on Wesley Clemmons of the Salukis. 5-team fouls on Southern Illinois, and Andrews to the line. 14-point lead for the Egyptian Dogs.
Free throws have been good for the Braves tonight.
We'd like to welcome our audience that has been watching the Nebraska-Kansas State women's game in the Big 12. We are here at Little Egypt, they call it, Southern Illinois Arena in Carbondale. Mitch Holtis along with Charlie Spoonhour, the 20th ranked team in the country on the men's side, Southern Illinois, with a lead of 47-34 over the Bradley Braves. Congratulations to Connie Yori, a Valley alum and the head coach at Nebraska. She played and coached at Creighton. Having a heck of a year, Charlie. Her team is 20-4 and won at Manhattan tonight. And here Bradley is fighting. They just cannot get over the hump as the Salukis lead by 13.
This has been a little bit ragged on both ends of the floor the last 3 or 4 minutes. Both teams are playing really, really hard. But nobody's going to give any quarter to anyone.
A little under 10 to go. Southern Illinois hanging to that double-digit lead. Bradley has just not shot it well from the field. 28%, 2 of 17 from 3. And if you haven't seen Bradley all year, we need to tell you they're one of the top 5 teams in the country at shooting threes.
Shaw's back out on the floor, and probably would behoove him to get to the basket area because I think he can do some good there.
Falker's out with 3 fouls. Nice curl by Young. Splash. 20 points for Tony Young. He only averages 9 per game.
You need guys to step up, and you've got people that are not feeling well or people that are in foul trouble, and he's certainly done that tonight.
Franklin with a hard cross around Mullins, and he's got 13.
It's a hard basket to hit right there. It's in traffic and on the move, but he sure hit it. There's a post up, at least a half harder than there.
Clemmons waits for the 3. 10 for 35 from 3-point distance on the year. And once again, Bradley with a chance to chip into the Saluki lead. Warren. He's been a load in the second half. 7 second-half points for the Bradley freshman.
2 freshmen have certainly made their presence known tonight.
Now, if you're Bradley, can you get a stop and get it within single digits?
That's what Bradley needs right here is one more stop and then a turnover or anything.
Bradley in the man. Shaw pins his guy and cannot get the bucket to go down. He had Andrews pinned.
It's the right place for him to be right now in the ball game, though, particularly with Falker out of the game.
Franklin rescued by Twy. Adams, bucket, and a foul, and all of a sudden the Bradley Braves are within single digits for the first time in a long time. Danny Adams with a tough take. There's a timeout on the floor. Still 7:38 to go, and Bradley fighting in Little Egypt against the 20th ranked team. Southern Illinois leading Bradley 49-40, but they had a lead as much as 19 earlier in this game and led by 12 at halftime. All right, big non-conference games coming up for the Valley. It has been arguably the best year in the 100 years of the Valley, but look at these, Charlie. Another chance for the Valley to make a big statement with some big-time matchups.
Right, and I think the thing that the teams will find is that they'll be scouted, but they won't be as well scouted, and things that you can run, they'll be like early in the year. You'll be able to do some things and get some baskets. Hard to get a basket once you get in league play.
There have been many philosophers throughout mankind. I ponder the question. Danny Adams shoots 45% from 3, and he's 7 of 18 at the foul line, shooting 40%.
I don't understand it because he's 45% from 3, like you said, and he looks good shooting the basketball. It has to be, if you don't think this is a mental game, it's a mental game.
He barely hit rim on that free throw. The guy zings in threes like it's no big deal. I'm sure Kepler and other philosophers wondered the same thing. 7:19 remaining in the game. 49-40. Bradley did get it cut down to single digits. Falker is going to get shoved by Andrews, and that is 4 fouls. Correction, 3 fouls on Zach Andrews.
Good job this time of finally getting the ball deep.
He's got 4 fouls. And so he's got to set. And we saw Southern make a run in the first half when he had to set. Let Falker get some touches.
I think Falker will probably catch a ball a time or two now. There's one time. Oh, there's 2
2. 3. Bone wants it. 4.
And Falker hustles and gets his 4th hand on a ball.
Already with a double-double, 11 points, 12 boards, and 6:49 to go. But here is Bradley now. Great game plan by Jim Les. They just couldn't hit shots. If they get a 3 here, even a 2, this gets real interesting.
Gets very interesting. That time, one coach talks to one referee, one talks to another. We should have gotten Daly because he got left out.
Just wait till the rotation. He gets in front of the bench. He'll get his time. Steal by Shaw. Actually, Mullins. Deflection from Shaw. Young's foul by Franklin. He thought he got all ball.
Well, that's what Southern Illinois needed. That's what Bradley didn't need. There's a turnover and a chance to run out and now to get a free throw.
10 turnovers by the Braves. And Young to the line. 21 points for Tony Young. He's 85% at the line.
That one took a long way around to get there.
He made 11 here against Bradley last year at the foul line. This now slides out. 10-point lead for Southern Illinois. Ruffin in jail. Bradley playing across the midcourt line. Not good. Twice sets up Franklin.
Maybe hurried a little bit. If you're trying to find a reason why that didn't go, but it was still a pretty good look. Oh, look at that.
Bradley fortunate. Mullins had it stripped at the last second. It was going to be an easy layup. You said that the Salukis should have an advantage rebounding on this Bradley team. Ten-point lead for Southern. 5:39 to go. Tie up. Southern Illinois' era.
Falker was deep enough that time, Mitch. He didn't have his balance and had the ball up over his head instead of at his chin.
Falker looks like flypaper at the 4th of July picnic. Because he's getting a lot of stuff stuck to him underneath the goal when he catches it.
Hard to get the ball in.
Young rattles out. Twy with it.
Pretty good defense by the freshman that time.
Adams on the swing around. Now he'll hit a three, and he just did.
Or if they'll let him move over to the side, maybe wing one from about 18 feet.
This is a 7-point game, as close as Bradley's been in a long time. And still 5 minutes to go. And Twy trying to bring up the heat, gets the foul.
Twy again tried to sell the fact that he didn't really do anything, but a little hard to get away with that. Well, that's the reason that Bradley has managed to get back in this ball game. They have been relentless at their defense also.
This is as close as Bradley has been since the 10-minute mark of the first half, specifically the 10:07 mark when they were down 14-7, and Falker gets loose inside. The fly paper.
Well, that's a good place to go with the basketball right now.
Randal Falker, what a year he's had, what a night he's had. Franklin gets whacked in the face and still gets it down off the glass. He's got 15.
Good defensive pressure again right here.
Young on a swing around. Just enough defense to tip out, keeps it in the hands of the Salukis.
It just drives you crazy when somebody tips a ball out on you like that.
Falker tried to get the angle, and Andrews just enough defense to force the turnover. That is now 14 Southern Illinois turnovers.
Defensive pressure, that's what that is, and the ball was entered just a little quickly by Shaw there.
We have a full timeout on the court, charge to Bradley.
13 rebounds now for Matt Shaw. You see him closest to Chris Lowry. The old Saluki point guard. Probably not real fired up right now with his team. 4 minutes to go. It's a 7-point game, and Bradley will have the ball. And Jim Les calls a full timeout, knowing how important this possession is.
Last time he came out of the timeout, or maybe it was the time before, they ran the screen and then the second screen on the pick and roll. They got the ball right under the basket. Wouldn't be bad to try again.
Next game, I'm headed for Des Moines after this one. It'll be Creighton and Drake, two great private school rivals. We just saw the men's version of this game last weekend. I'll see it Friday night at 7:30. Joe Hutchison will join me for that one at 7:30 Central. And then we'll take the Valley Truckster with the Chuckster and head to Cedar Falls the next night for Northern Iowa and Missouri State.
I'm sure it'll be balmy.
We thought it was cold the last time we were there. That's about 10 degrees colder than or warmer than it is right now.
That ought to be a very, very good basketball game on Saturday night. It'll be one that both those teams really, really need to win.
Northern has suffered of late. We saw them. They won at Wichita State in the end of December. We thought maybe they'd win.
They've got the ingredients. It's just every team goes through a little lull, and this is probably theirs. At one point, Mitch, we've said this before too, Missouri State looked like they were going to be the flavor of the month.
Southern even had their lull, losing at Evansville, lost to this Bradley team in Peoria. Little all-court pressure here by Southern just to bother the Braves. Let's see what Bradley comes up with out of the timeout.
Different play than before. This is strictly just a weave right here. And the postman's just trying to get position low. The postman got position low.
Andrews uses his strength to score over Falker. 11 for Zach Andrews. Bradley is within 5 points.
He changed sides of the floor with the dribble. It's easier than to do it with a pass against Southern Illinois. Center keeps working for position and eventually gets it. Turnabout, was nearly fair play.
Falker with the save, his strength, his hands are so good. He saved the ball. It should have been a turnover.
I don't recall that being true 2 years ago.
Wow, Young. He forces one. And Bradley has a chance to chip into the lead even further.
This is big time possession right here.
Still 2:47 to go. Bradley making this interesting. Ruffin cups it, scoops it, gets fouled.
And that's again just off the dribble weave is all that is, man.
Mullins called for the foul. 30 fouls on Mullins. Getting tense at SIU Arena now. Check now with our game reset, a service of Emerson, and looking at it, Spoon, Bradley within 5, still 2:42 to go. Both teams are in the bonus, essentially. The next foul on Bradley will put the Salukis in the bonus, and the Egyptian Dogs have the arrow.
And you're looking at the 75% free throw shooter walking to the line. The whole thing in a nutshell is this is going to boil down to stops.
Check out Emerson. Go to emerson.com. Emerson, consider it solved. Sponsor of our Valley Game Reset. Now Ruffin has 1 plus the penalty. He has just 2 points tonight. Daniel Ruffin, 1 of 9 from the field.
Oh my.
Way short.
Big miss right there. That could have turned it into a 1-possession game.
Who's going to look for the shot here for Southern Illinois? Up 5. They led by as many as 19 earlier in the game.
I would have thought 15 or Falker would have been the candidates.
6 to shoot. Mullins. No, and Bradley continues to defend. Zach Andrews, so strong, yanks the ball down.
2 minutes to go right now.
5-point game. Bradley back to the weave, it appears.
Well, that was quite an adventure.
Ruffin, who backwards pass from Franklin, and Ruffin hitting nothing tonight.
Now big possession right here for both teams. Oh,
Fly called for the grab. This will put SIU in the bonus.
dangerous pass that time.
Matt Shaw to the line, 83% shooter. 3 points for Matt Shaw. Not a lot done offensively, Spoon, but he's got 13 boards.
He's been on the perimeter for so much of the game offensively, and out there, he's probably getting out quick a little bit. When he's been inside, he's looked like he could be a factor.
From Centralia, Illinois, nicknamed the Orphans, the Centralia Orphans. 2 big free throws down, lead of 7. Jim Les wants timeout. 1:27 still to go.
30-second timeout charge for Bradley.
You know, you say, well, we're only 7 behind. But you know how hard it is to make 7 points in this game?
It's time now for a Rawlings play of the game. Rawlings, the official athletic equipment of the Missouri Valley Conference. It goes to a freshman, knick-knack, paddywhack, give an Egyptian dog a bone.
Nice drive, and there it comes right there. He does not play much like a freshman at all.
Rawlings, the official athletic equipment of the Missouri Valley Conference. Joshua Bone, the national Tennessee freshman. Bradley out of timeouts. This is one of those when you're on the bus, headed back to the go to Peoria, and you're the coach, Jim Les, you're absolutely gnawing on your leather bag.
Yeah, because you had an idea what you wanted to do, you got it done, and you just didn't get the ball in the basket. They're still obviously very much in this. They need to get something quick out of this timeout.
They are 3 of 21 on threes. They normally shoot 43% from 3, 5th in the nation.
Oh,
Mullins bumping Ruffin. Clock will stop.
and now Ruffin has got to step up and make a free throw, Mitch. That's the thing. His last one was not a very pretty sight.
4 fouls on Mullins. Mullins trying to rip through the plywood. Fouls Ruffin. He's got his 3rd point.
Good free throw shooter. It just man.
Wow, what a night. 1 for 10. 0 for 5 from 3. 1 for 3 at the line.
And give Shaw credit. He's not scoring any baskets, but he's getting rebounds just like the last one he got.
Chris Lowry calls timeout with 19 on the shot clock. 1:07 to go and still up 6.
Well, as hard as threes are to come by for Bradley, it would really behoove them to get a stop here and probably drive it at the basket, Mitch, rather than come down and take us as 3. Because if you shoot a 3 now and don't make it, it's pretty well Katie bar the door.
Let's go ahead and announce our State Farm players of the game. For Bradley, Will Franklin, who's had 2 good games now this year against Southern Illinois, and that's hard to do.
You're exactly right. That's something that he can take with him, because if you can play well against these guys, you can play anywhere.
There's his line, 15 points, 4 boards, and an assist for Franklin.
And the assist is probably a misleading stat, because how many times did he throw a ball that could have been put in the basket and somebody just didn't hit a shot? Well, this is an interesting 19 seconds right here.
Tony Young, the State Farm player of the game for Southern Illinois, 21 points, 4 boards, 4 of 6 from 3. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there in a great Valley partner.
Don't want to foul now.
And they foul. A sigh of relief, assistant Rodney Watson on the Southern Illinois bench. And they could see what Jim Les thought of it. Ruffin fouled. It'll be 1-1 for Tony Young.
You know, when you've got somebody captured like that, and that was not a real hard foul, but when you've got him captured, that's a good time not to reach in.
Tony Young has tied his season high with 22 points. He had 22 against Western Kentucky earlier this year. 7-point lead now, 3-possession lead for Southern Illinois. Some about Bradley Tony Young likes. His career high a year ago, 30 against the Braves. His season high this year against the Braves. Mullins tips to Young, and Southern Illinois is going to keep tied with Creighton at the top of the league at 11-3. Separation in the league leads to a showdown Saturday night. Creighton, Southern Illinois.
Think there'll be anyone here? Some of these folks may not leave.
Bryan Mullins at the line for the Salukis. Mullins shooting 1+ the bonus.
56-48. Southern Illinois will go 11-0 at home. And yet, when you look at Jim Les and his bench, the effort tonight, the plan tonight, so much better than a week ago against Creighton in their home loss.
Night and day, Mitch, night and day. This has been a really good effort. There's been a couple guys that haven't had good games, but the effort's been there.
Bradley plays like this, they can win out. They have to go to Virginia Commonwealth, of course. Steal by Young, and here's a obligatory slam.
Well, people are going to see this score, and they're going to say, well, Southern did it again. It was hard for Southern, but they persevered.
Ruffin throws in a runner. First field goal of the second half. (60-50), Southern Illinois. 20th in the country in the coaches poll. 21st in the AP poll. Rolls on, Charlie.
20-win season again.
Again. Final score, Southern Illinois 60, Bradley 50. And now Chris